You know, that's one nice thing about a swim jig too, that, you know, when I show up to a tournament and I'm new to that body of water, I love a swim jig because I can just move water and look for active fish. I can swim this thing, I can pitch it, I can skip it under docks, flip it into a lay down, whatever. It's still a jig at the end of the day. So very versatile bait for you to go around and move water and really start breaking down a body of water in a hurry. Trailer's important. It definitely gives it all the action. Probably my go-to around the country would be like a paddle tail, like a Kitech or something like that, a little small paddle tail bait. Works awesome when you're around shad, gizzard shad, all that kind of stuff. Definitely works up here too, but my other favorite, and the one I grew up throwing, was just a single tail grub. And I love to throw a grub. This time of year, it's the best. For fishing up north and along rivers, it's just such a subtle action. Got great vibration in the water. Another one, I like some of these double tail grubs that they have too. These are good. Cod baits, sometimes if I'm down south, but I might use something more like this. It gives a good swim, and at the same time kind of balances out the lure and lets it just kind of come through and swim through so confidently that those big fish just jump all over it. So, you know, another thing too, I like to use a 7-3 medium heavy action rod, something I can cast a long way when I'm throwing a swim jig. But I would say if there's one downfall to the swim jig, it's going to be your hookup. You know, if you can imagine, you're just kind of fishing the bait really slow and wheeling it back at a slow pace, and all of a sudden the bass, they just come up from behind it and completely ambush it. And you'll swim, all of a sudden your line's cutting off to the side, you realize you got one. And that's what I like the medium heavy action rod for. I'd say most of my jig fishing, I'm using a heavy action, but for swim jig, and I like that medium heavy action, something with a quick bend to it, and can cast a long way. In my reel, I'm using a 7-speed gear ratio Daiwa. If I'm catching a lot and I'm getting a little bit aggressive with it, I like to slow it back down to a 6-speed because maybe I'm working it a little too slow. The best days I've had, all in all, swim jigging, definitely come with a slower reel, just barely dragging that thing on the bottom. So if you can get yourself to do that and still maintain a 7-speed, definitely go that way, because when they bite it, you set the hook, you need to catch up to that fish real quick to get them in the boat.